She doesn't text you, she doesn't call you, and yet somehow you're still on her mind. Most men never notice the moment a woman starts missing them because it never looks like missing at all. Listen carefully. When a woman misses you in silence, she does not chase. She adjusts. And that adjustment is so subtle, so psychologically precise that if you blink, you'll mistake it for distance, disinterest, or coincidence. This is where most men fail. Not because they aren't wanted, but because they misread restraint as rejection. Here's the truth most people won't tell you. Women are trained socially and emotionally to hide longing better than men. Not because they feel less, but because they feel more. When emotions run deep, exposure feels dangerous. Vulnerability feels like loss of control. So instead of reaching out, she sends signals that allow her to feel close without risking her pride. The first silent signal is this. She reappears where she doesn't need to. Not dramatically, not obviously, just enough to be seen. She watches your stories. She likes something random, something old. She reacts to a photo you posted weeks ago, not the new one. That timing is not accidental, it's controlled. It's her way of saying, I remember you, without saying, I miss you. Men often dismiss this as boredom scrolling. That's a mistake. When a woman misses you, her attention becomes selective. She doesn't scroll everything. She scrolls you. She may not want a conversation, but she wants confirmation. Confirmation that you're still you, that your life is moving, that she still has a place in your awareness, even if she doesn't step fully into it. The second part of this signal is even quieter. She mirrors your emotional tone without initiating. If you post something thoughtful, she responds thoughtfully. If you post something humorous, she reacts lightly. She is calibrating herself to your energy, subconsciously asking, if I step back in, would it feel safe? This is not manipulation. This is emotional self-protection. Now, here's where men sabotage everything. They overreact, they confront. They say, why are you watching my stories if you don't want to talk? And in that moment, her guard slams shut. Because the silent signal was never an invitation to demand. It was a test of emotional intelligence. A woman missing you does not want pressure. She wants permission. Permission to feel without being exposed. Permission to observe without being pulled into a decision she isn't ready to make. When you remain grounded, when you don't chase or accuse, you create psychological safety. And safety is what turns silent longing into spoken desire. Understand this. Absence does not mean indifference. Silence does not mean emptiness. Often it means restraint. It means she is fighting the urge to reach out, weighing emotion against logic, desire against pride. And every time you respond with calm instead of desperation, you tip that internal scale in your favor. This is the first truth. And once you see it, you'll realize how many moments you misread. Not because she didn't care, but because she cared enough to hide it. The second silent signal she sends when she secretly misses you is even more invisible, but infinitely more telling. It's called emotional echoing. You won't hear about it in books. You won't notice it unless you're paying attention to the energy she leaves behind rather than the words she speaks. Here's how it works. When a woman misses you, she subtly starts reflecting your moods, your humor, your interests. Even from a distance, she may not reach out. She may not comment. But the way she engages with mutual friends, social media, or even shared environments mirrors your energy. It's not coincidence. It's unconscious alignment. And alignment is a form of longing, one that doesn't require a single word. Imagine this. You post a song that reminds her of you. She doesn't message you, she doesn't tag you. Yet somehow she's humming the same tune in her stories the next day. Or she shares something small that resonates with a private memory only you would understand. This isn't random. It's a breadcrumb of her mind circling back to you, leaving traces that only someone paying close attention could catch. Men, almost without fail, overlook this. You see absence, you see silence, and you interpret it as disinterest. But that is the exact trap. She is sending signals designed to test your perception to see if you notice without being told. And the truth is, 99% of men don't notice. They only notice when she finally breaks, when the longing becomes too heavy to hide. And by then the dynamic has already shifted. There's another layer, the subtlety of timing. She won't reach out at predictable intervals. She might react to your stories at 3:00 a.m. or comment months later on a post you thought irrelevant. That timing is not carelessness, it's emotional choreography. She's balancing wanting to connect with needing to protect herself. Every delayed reaction, every selective engagement is a sign she's feeling something deeply but carefully. Now, here's a psychological truth most men never grasp. Women often miss you in private ways first. They replay memories, notice the small gestures you once made, or even check in indirectly through shared friends. These private acts of longing are like a secret language. If you understand it, you'll know she's thinking about you long before she ever admits it. Most men miss this because they look for overt attention, texts, calls, confrontations. But when a woman misses you in silence, overt attention is the last thing she wants to give. What she wants is resonance. The feeling that you already know that you can feel her absence and presence at the same time. That's the second silent signal. The irony is profound. The more she holds back, the more she's invested. The quieter she becomes, the louder her absence speaks. And every time you fail to notice, the moment slips further away. Because silent longing doesn't wait forever. It either becomes action or it fades into memory. Pay attention to the echoes. They are whispers of desire. And once you start seeing them, you begin to understand not just that she misses you, but how deeply. The third silent signal she sends when she secretly misses you is perhaps the most emotionally complex, subtle protection of your presence in her life. Unlike the first two signals, this one doesn't show up on your phone or social media. It manifests in the choices she makes, the boundaries she sets, and the mental space she reserves for you without ever telling you. When a woman misses you quietly, she starts guarding moments that connect her to you, even if those moments are invisible to you. She may decline other invitations, not out of obligation, but because she wants to preserve her energy for memories, thoughts, or potential interactions with you. She keeps certain experiences, songs, or thoughts unsaid or unwatched elsewhere, reserving them for you, even if she doesn't admit it. That's how she misses you, by holding a mental space for you in a world that's constantly pulling her attention elsewhere. This is why you might notice her absences are selective. She isn't absent from everyone, just from certain things that would otherwise dilute the connection she's silently maintaining with you. She keeps her attention measured, her interactions deliberate, and her memories private, as if saying, "I miss him, but I'm keeping it safe." Another layer of this signal is how she remembers tiny details you didn't think mattered. The way you like your coffee, the joke you made weeks ago, the way you respond when stressed. These things linger in her mind. She doesn't mention them outright, but she integrates them into her behavior, her stories, and even in conversations with friends. You might never hear about it, but she's holding a mirror of your presence in her life silently. Men rarely recognize this as a sign of longing. They see restraint as disinterest. But this is not absence. It's careful devotion. She's missing you in a way that prioritizes respect for your space, emotional safety, and her own dignity. This is why she doesn't confront, doesn't chase, and doesn't pressure. She misses you quietly but profoundly. Here's the critical point most men never grasp. The quieter she is, the more emotionally invested she is. Loud longing is easy to spot. Silent longing requires attunement, awareness, and patience. And this is where most men fail. They respond to noise, not to nuance. They chase, push, or overanalyze, destroying the delicate architecture of desire she's built in silence. And here's what psychology teaches us. When a woman protects your presence in her life, she is simultaneously protecting herself. She's navigating fear, pride, desire, and caution all at once. She's missing you without creating emotional vulnerability that could backfire. Understanding this is like having a key to a locked room. Once you see it, the dynamics of connection change forever. Notice these patterns. Observe them without demanding explanations. When you do, you begin to recognize that absence isn't absence, silence isn't emptiness, And restraint isn't rejection. What you see as distance might actually be the strongest proof of longing you will ever witness. Every selective absence, every quiet preservation of shared memory, every small mental reservation she keeps for you is a whisper of her heart. And if you catch it, if you truly see it, you unlock a level of understanding that almost no man ever experiences. Her longing is silent, yes, but it is real. It is deep, and it is waiting for the right man to recognize it. There's a fourth layer to the silent signals she sends, a layer so hidden that most men completely miss it. It's called emotional reverberation. You won't see it in texts, you won't hear it in calls, and it rarely shows up in conversations. It's the quiet ripple she leaves in your life, a subtle vibration that only an attentive man can feel. Here's what it looks like. She reacts indirectly to your emotional state without ever acknowledging it. If you're happy, she celebrates from a distance. If you're sad, she hesitates, subtly aligning her energy with yours without intrusion. She might not say a word, but her mind, her choices, even her moods quietly echo yours. This is her way of staying connected while respecting the unspoken boundaries she set. Notice this. She may start revisiting old jokes you shared, singing songs you once mentioned, or subtly weaving shared memories into her conversations with others. She's replaying fragments of your connection, not to manipulate, but because your presence lingers in her consciousness. It's the echo of longing, a form of emotional communication that doesn't require direct contact. Most men dismiss this as coincidence or imagination, but emotional reverberation is a powerful psychological truth. Women often process missing someone internally first before reaching out, before admitting desire. They resonate with the person's energy. This resonance is a silent bridge between distance and closeness, a psychological tether that keeps them connected even when outwardly apart. The danger for men is misinterpretation. You see distance and assume disinterest. You see silence and assume absence. But this is the exact trap. She's not indifferent. She's being deliberate, managing her feelings while protecting herself and you from misalignment. Every small echo, every subtle alignment is her way of saying, I notice you. I remember you. You matter. Now, here's the psychological insight almost no man understands. Silence often amplifies desire. Loud longing can feel overwhelming or even off-putting. But subtle, patient, emotionally intelligent longing creates anticipation, curiosity, and emotional tension. The more she stays emotionally tuned to you without revealing it, the more power her absence holds. This is why most men fail to capture her attention fully. They respond impulsively to the visible, the obvious, the dramatic. They miss the quiet reverberations that actually reveal the depth of her feelings. Emotional intelligence, the ability to notice energy without being told, is what separates men who misread her signals from men who truly understand her psychology. And here's a key point. She doesn't want you to overstep. She doesn't want to feel pressured or chased. Her silence is an invitation to observe, understand, and respect. If you respond with calm, confidence, and awareness, you honor her unspoken longing. If you respond with desperation or impatience, you break the bridge she's built in silence. Every tiny, seemingly inconsequential echo is meaningful. Every subtle reflection of your life, every careful alignment of her energy, every private reservation she maintains. It's all a testament to how much she misses you, even when she pretends not to. Recognizing this, responding wisely, and respecting the silence is how a man transforms a quiet longing into a deep, lasting connection. Her signals are subtle, yes, but they are precise, intentional, and profoundly revealing. The men who see them are the men she thinks about. The men who ignore them never realize what they lost. Now, the final piece, the one almost no man ever sees, is the pull between her mind and her heart. This is the quiet battle she fights every single day when she misses you in secret. It's invisible, intangible, yet it shapes everything she does around you. Understanding this is like holding a map to a treasure most men never even knew existed. When a woman misses you silently, her heart wants to reach out, to call, to text, to bridge the distance, but her mind holds her back. Pride, self-preservation, fear of rejection, or past experiences all act as invisible walls. She doesn't want to expose herself, yet she can't stop thinking about you. This internal tug-of-war creates the subtle behaviors you may have noticed but never understood. Delayed responses, selective engagement, revisiting old memories, or preserving certain thoughts just for you. This is why she may act indifferent at times or appear distant. It's not disinterest, it's control. She is mastering her emotions, weighing every action, deciding which gestures to give, which thoughts to keep private, and which glimpses of her longing are safe to reveal. And every choice she makes is rooted in you. The way she organizes her time, the small sacrifices she makes without announcing them, even the way she lights up briefly at something that reminds her of you. These are all manifestations of her heart reaching out while her mind pulls back. The psychological lesson here is profound. Women often express missing someone through restraint, not indulgence. Their absence is calculated, their silence is deliberate, and their subtle signals are coded messages meant for the attentive, emotionally aware man. She is giving you a chance without forcing herself to recognize her value, her presence, and her longing. This is why the men who fail don't see her. They look for explicit validation. I miss you, I thought of you, or I want to talk. But the women who miss quietly don't need to say it. They let their attention, their energy, and their carefully preserved moments do the speaking. And when a man finally notices, when he interprets the silence correctly, the connection shifts instantly. The longing she held in check becomes tangible, and her restrained desire transforms into deep, engaged connection. Here's the truth most men never understand. The less she chases, the more she cares. The quieter her signals, the louder her heart. And the more you understand, respect, and respond to these subtle cues, the stronger your bond becomes. Patience, perception, and emotional intelligence are your keys. Misread her silence, and you lose her. See it, honor it, and you unlock a level of intimacy almost no man experiences. Now, think about this. If the silent signals she's sending are like pieces of a puzzle, the equation of connection depends on how well you observe, interpret, and respond. Here's a question for you. Can you decode the missing pieces? Comment your answer below. If attention plus perception makes patience shrank understanding, what number would you assign to your own awareness of her signals? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with a friend who needs to hear this. Sometimes the quietest signals reveal the deepest truths, and only the wise will notice.